Hear the drums echoing tonight. She hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide you towards salvation. And I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, "Hurry boy, it's waiting there for you." Hi everybody, my name's Troy Hawes, and welcome once again to another edition of My Acoustic Lounge. Today we're going to review a great song from the legendary band Toto. The song is called Africa. It was written by David Page and the late great Jeff Porcaro. Africa peaked at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1983. Now, before we get started, be sure to click the subscribe button, as I'm always trying to put up new content on a regular basis. In addition, if you like my guitar tutorials and covers, you might actually also like my original music, which can now be purchased or streamed from any one of your favorite online music providers. Simply look up Troy Hawes and you'll find my music there. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the chords that you're going to need to know for this great song. Then we'll review the chord progressions. At the end of the video, we'll put everything together that we learned and we'll perform an acoustic lounge version of this great song. As always, I'm going to use a great backbeat from my Beat Buddy by Singular Sound. So if you want to learn a great Toto song, stick around. We're going to get started right now. Okay, before I get to the chords that you're going to need to know for this great song, a quick note. If you want to play along with me or loosely play along with the original version from Toto using the chords that I'm about to show you, you need to place a capo on the 4th fret. Keep that in mind. With that, let's have a look at the 10 chords that you're going to need to know to get through the acoustic lounge version of this great song. Now, if you're a beginner, I know that's a little bit overwhelming to hear 10 chords. If you follow my channel, you know what I do quite often is I take a song that has some complicated chord progressions, or even chords for that matter, and try to simplify it so beginners can basically pick it up and run with it. And that's just what I've done here with this version of Africa. Keep that in mind. All right, let's have a look at these 10 chords. The first one is simply a G major. You're going to need to know a B minor bar chord. There's an E minor. There's a D. There's an F chord. There's a C. There's a beautiful chord called an A minor 7. Love that chord, love it. There's an A minor. Not a lot of differences between those two. When we get to the actual chord progressions, I'll show you why the A minor 7th is an important chord to have. There's also a D minor, and then there's a B. That's it. Those 10 chords are going to get you all the way through this great song. Let's get now to the chord progressions. Okay, we're going to break this into 3 parts for you. We're going to show you how to play the verses first, and then we'll get into how to play the chorus. There's also a bit of a break in the song, call it a bridge, whatever you want. It occurs after the 2nd verse is sung, and this is where in the original version the solos come in, and I think it's a piano and synthesizer type solo that comes into play. With that, let's have a close look now at how to play the verse. All right, starting on the F chord. The opening sequence into the first verse goes something like this. Hear the drums echoing tonight, but she hears only whispers of some quiet conversations. She's coming in 12:30 flights. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, "Hurry boy, it's waiting there for you." And that jumps you then into the chorus. Let's have a look at it now. Okay, in my opinion, the chorus is the most complicated part of this song. The reason that is because the chords come at you quite quickly as far as the chord changes, and they're very unique chords in the way of finger patterns. There's not really a lot of similarities in one chord to the next, with the exception of an F and a C chord. Let me show you what I mean. So basically, starting on the D minor chord, the chorus goes something like this. Now I'm going to slow it down, and I'm not going to sing at this particular part. So starting on the D minor chord, it goes something like this. Then you're going to go to a B, then an F, then to a C. You see, in the F and the C are very, very close in the finger pattern, so that makes it easy. But that D minor to a B bar chord is where the real complication gets in, and this is where you could stumble if you're new to guitar. So again, speeding it up a little bit, D minor to a B, to an F, and then to a C. Now, if you find that to be just too complicated, there is an alternative that I want to share with you. In fact, the alternative is the way that I play this song. But the alternative calls for bar chords. So if you're not familiar with bar chords, or you just cannot play a bar chord, stick with this first way that I showed you. Now, a D minor can be barred at the 5th fret of the 5th string. You see? 5th fret, 5th string. The B can also be barred at the 6th fret of the 6th string. And then of course an F, and then a C. Now, you might find that to be a little bit easier. Why? Because the finger pattern of bar chords don't really change. They focus on the root note. So again, to go from a D minor to a B to an F, the finger pattern remains the same. You might find this version or this method to be easier if you have understanding of bar chords. With that, I'm going to show you the chord progressions, the original chord progressions, but I'm going to play it with bar chords and sing along. And again, this part is complicated to sing because they sing at a high key. But it basically goes something like this, starting on the D minor, or in this case I'm barring it like I showed you. So it goes, "Gonna take a lot to get me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had." All right. And that that's it. That's a couple of ways that you can play the more complicated chorus to this particular song. Now, with that, let's have one last look here at that part in the song that leads into the solo. You can call it the bridge if you want. It's very, very similar to the verses, but slightly different. Let's have a look now. Okay, and lastly, let's have a closer look at that bridge, or if that's what you want to call it, the part in the song where the keyboard and piano come in and play a little bit of a solo. It's very, very similar to the chord progression of the verses and goes something like this. And then, of course, that goes into the last chorus and the outro. It's really that simple. Obviously, you've got to get the rhythm down to the strumming to this song. That whole thing with the F chord to the A minor 7 in the A minor. You got to get that rhythm down, and I know that will take a little bit of practice itself. It doesn't really matter much of a strumming pattern as long as you can get that rhythm down. That's it.
Drums echoing tonight, and she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The bullet wings reflect the stars that guide you towards salvation. And I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some more forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, "Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take the time to do the things we never had." Hear the wild dogs cry out in the night as they go restless, longing for some solitary company. And I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. And I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take the time to do the things we never had.
There you have it, Toto's Africa. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of My Acoustic Lounge. My name is Troy Hawes. If you like my guitar tutorials and my covers, please consider subscribing. I do truly appreciate it. Until the next time, keep playing. Music is good for the soul.